The unveiling of despair, the hunt for the missing trio begins. As August neared its end, a veil of anxiety enveloped Benjamin, Michael's father. He had planned to rendezvous with the three adventurers in Switzerland, joining them for a final leg of sightseeing in the capital city of Bern. From there, the four of them would take a leisurely journey to Geneva, boarding a private jet that would bring them back to the States, back to normalcy. Having meticulously coordinated the Swiss leg of the trip to coincide with a work-related visit, Benjamin found himself waiting in the grandiose lobby of the Hotel Bellevue Palace in mid-August. Time seemed to crawl. As the afternoon surrendered to dusk and dusk gave way to a pitch-black night, his fatherly intuition gnawed at him, whispering that something was amiss. Concern turning into near panic, Benjamin spoke with the hotel manager, who agreed to keep a night clerk on duty solely to await the arrival of the young men. Despite the assurance, sleep eluded Benjamin. Throughout the night, he found himself pacing down to the lobby, each time greeted by the same message: "They haven't arrived yet, sir." By morning, a knock finally came at his door. Disheveled and groggy, Benjamin swung open the door to find the night clerk, his eyes reflecting a sense of apology. "Sorry, sir. They haven't arrived. However, we can serve you breakfast in a private room and offer any other assistance you may require." Benjamin, his voice tinged with concern and frustration, asked for breakfast to be sent up to his room. There were calls to make, plans to alter, fears to confront. Hours later, his suite had transformed into an ad hoc crisis center, filled with local Swiss detectives, personnel from the U.S. consulate, and eventually, U.S. federal agents. They drilled Benjamin with questions, sifted through Michael's itinerary, explored alternate routes, and speculated possible deviations. As evening fell, a dinner spread was laid out amongst the growing number of maps and phones. Suddenly, the surreal weight of the situation settled on Benjamin. "Stop. Just stop. I need a break," he uttered, a breaking point reached. Graciously, the U.S. consulate representative ushered everyone out, granting Benjamin a moment of solitude in what had become a whirlwind of despair. After gathering himself, Benjamin opened the suite door, peering at the anxious crowd of officials in the hallway. "Any news?" he asked. "None that is good, sir," replied the consulate official, his face etched with gravity. "A local report from Sonogno has mentioned 3 Americans who fit your son and his friend's description. They talked about a hiking trip to Cascata La Froda, Poçan Negro, and then on to Alpe Margaya. They were staying in a local room, left most of their belongings, and haven't been back in days. Their belongings were moved to the city building." The words barely had time to sink in before Benjamin asked, "How fast can we get there?" "About 4 hours, sir." "A car is waiting," replied the official. Benjamin walked briskly towards the lobby, his face a mask of resolve tinged with unimaginable dread. As he stepped into the U.S. Embassy limo, flanked by U.S. federal agents, U.S. consulate, and a Swiss detectives, a somber motorcade formed, law enforcement from 2 nations, united in a grim pursuit. As the wheels started to turn, every mile bringing him closer to Sonogno, Benjamin's thoughts tangled with hope and dread, questions without answers, and a father's indescribable ache for his missing son. They were now not just searching for Michael, David, and John. They were searching for pieces of a puzzle that defied understanding, a story that had swallowed its main characters, leaving behind a haunting void. And so, they drove into the night, towards a small town in a region shrouded in mysteries, a place where time stood still but life didn't wait. A place that might hold the answers everyone was desperate to find, yet terrified to discover.